Are you struggling playing defense in Madden 24? In this video, I'm gonna take you through working on your user game. It is the #1 thing I could tell a person struggling on defense. They need to get your user game up. I'm telling you, you'll be a much more effective defensive player. I got Fletcher Cox running down the field, 20 yards down the field, getting interceptions, y'all. I'm gonna take you through it. Let's go. All right, everybody, this is D the Philly Renegade. Let's dive in. So first of all, I want to send a shout out to Eric Rayweather. He put a video up about 2 weeks ago now, how to use a defend like a pro in Madden 24. I was already planning on doing this video, but when I saw that, I was like, all right, I got to watch this, see what he's talking about here. He actually hit on a lot of the topics that I'm going to hit on. He missed one important thing, I believe, and that's who to use it. So that's going to be the first thing I'm going to cover. But shout out to Eric. I'm going to put the link to that video down in the description. You can go check that out as well. He has some good stuff in there. All right, so first things first, you got to understand who to use it. So I'm gonna take you through a series of formations. On this channel, I don't tell you, hey, use this, run this defense, and you're gonna stop anybody. I don't do that. I'm giving you techniques. So on this defense here, who do you think I'm gonna use it? I'm gonna use it a middle linebacker, right? So I always look at it like this. Who does not really have a responsibility on the play? And we'll get into it and that'll become more clear in a minute. The middle linebacker in this place has no responsibility for an actual receiver. Obviously, he's looking at the quarterback. Now, if you're playing somebody like I don't know, somebody with a slow quarterback, you're playing somebody with an Aaron Rodgers, maybe you ain't expecting Aaron Rodgers to play, or last year, Tom Brady. You ain't expecting Tom Brady to run out of the pocket, right? You can use that middle linebacker as your user, and you can take him wherever you want on the field. He has no real responsibility on that play other than to make sure that the quarterback doesn't get out the pocket. All right, so second formation. Who do you think I'm using on this play? You definitely don't want to use it as safety. Somebody go over the top, you want him back there. I'm going to use it, the linebacker that's in zone coverage. Now, I talked about not having responsibility. Obviously, he has a responsibility in the middle of the field there, but everybody else is manned up. So if you look, you would run this maybe in a 2 wide receiver set. You got tight ends on the field. That linebacker is not playing man against anybody, right? He's playing zone. So you can take him and use him and you can roam wherever you want on the field. Now, ultimately, he should be right in that area where the zone is. But if the play doesn't call for that, then you can take him and run wherever you want. All right, so y'all getting the concept here. Here's another one. Who am I using? I'm using that linebacker there. The linebacker's in zone coverage. This may be for like a 3 wide receiver set. I got 3 cornerbacks on the field. I got a linebacker probably checking the running back, and I can run wherever I want with that one linebacker. And then this one, I'm using the safety, the shallow safety, not the deep safety. I'm going to take him, and I can run wherever I want on the field with that particular safety. All right, I got 2 more for you here. In both of these formations, I use a blitzer. Now, in this formation here, I don't know. It all depends on what's going on in the game. I may use one of the cornerbacks. I may use a linebacker. It all depends on what's going on in the flow of the game. Most likely in this formation, though, if I say I use the middle linebacker, I'm probably going to take those 2 cornerbacks and use them to double team somebody. So if you ever saw that video I put up, how to double team just about anybody, that's the formation that I used. So if you look at my statistics, it says that I blitz 44% of the time. I don't blitz that much. That's almost half of the plays. And the reason being is because I call these type plays a lot, and I take the blitzer and I use them. And the second formation is here. Same concept. I might use the cornerback, or I might use the middle linebacker there. All right, so now you know who to use it. Let's get into how to use it. So I'm actually going to start off with a play that uses that overload 3 that I was just showing on the screen there. So what I'm going to do on this play is I'm actually going to take the linebacker and I'm going to man him up on the running back. He's not going to move because the running back stays in the block, so watch that there. And then I'm going to use a Maddox. So on a formation like this, I'm usually looking for a crosser. But I saw that wide receiver, you saw I hesitated. I saw the wide receiver go in, and I knew it was a zig right away. I went off, broke for it, got the interception, took it into the house for the touchdown. All right, so in this play, this actually was not a play that I showed you before that I would typically use. This is a straight zone, and I'm going to actually change, and I'm going to use it in the Kobe Dean. So in this case, I'm going to play the middle of the field if the play calls for it. I'm going to, make sure I cover my zone because he does have responsibility on that play. But I'm going to let it roll here. And as you can see, when I talk about playing with anticipation, the first thing I'm usually looking for in a formation like this is the screen pass. I dropped back for like a split second, saw it was a screen, broke on it, got the pick, touchdown. All right, so here goes one of my favorite plays. So the same thing here. I got two blitzers. I'm going to use Dean in the middle of the field, and watch this. I loop around. Boom. He never saw that man coming. And I can tell you, this game probably was about 2-3 weeks ago, but 99% of the chance that he had ran that play 2 or 3 times ahead of that. So I knew where the ball was going. So again, playing with anticipation. User and Dean, he had no responsibility. I could take him in a big loop like that. And when you watch Eric Rayweather's video, he did talk about doing a loop. Like his was like a little bit different. It was almost with no purpose. Like I did that with a purpose because I knew he had run that play before. So I looped around, came back, got the interception, touchdown Eagles. All right, on this next one, this is one of my favorite plays this year. See here, I am actually going to use the person responsible for the receiver there. And when I talk about playing with anticipation, this is a real good example of that because this guy had ran RPOs a couple times. I'm gonna let it run here in a second, but I used him. I really didn't feel like I had time to really switch my defense around enough. I said, let me just go ahead and get Reed Blankenship and using him, and let's let this one roll. Got the pick. He had to be shocked when I got that pick because he looked like he was wide open. It was an easy touchdown. Got the pick. You got to play with anticipation, know what your opponent's doing, and just go get the ball when you need to, because that would have been a touchdown. If I didn't use him, I did move him inside. Maybe he would have got there for the tackle, but most likely that would have been a touchdown. Here's another one kind of going against what I taught you at the beginning of the video, where I usually use somebody that's not responsible for a receiver. I'm going to use Overstorm Brave 2 right there. And I'm going to show blitz. Everybody knows what this blitz is. Everybody knows how to counter it. A lot of people know how to counter it. A wheel route will kill this. But look where I'm positioning myself. I knew he was going for the wheel. Got the pick. That was touchdown the other way. As you can see, I'm up 14-0. His first quarter, I think I was taunting on him. He probably was running hurry up or something. Usually when I taunt like that, I got a reason to do it. So it could have just been a simple thing of 4th and 2 in the first quarter and you going for it. Got the pick. That was a risky one, but it paid off. Here goes one more just like that. Same concept. I was covering the running back. I went over, got the pick on the way to the end zone for the tutty. All right, so one more. So in the intro, I showed you Fletcher Cox dropping back 15, 20 yards and getting an interception. This is what happened. I had my setup. I was going to use one of those 2 blitzers as my user, but I got caught up trying to get set up. So as you can see, I'm scrolling through, trying to click through quickly. I got caught on Fletcher. I dropped back. I saw the crosser. Fletcher Cox with the pick. What was most impressive about this play? It was the first play of the game. So when I talk about playing with anticipation, it's not always about the person you're playing in that moment. It's about how people play Madden in general. So I know with the Dolphins, a lot of people like to run streaks and crosses. So first play of the game, when I first started dropping back with Fletcher, the first thing I'm doing, and this is what you should be doing when you're using it in general, is you kind of taking your steps back and you're reading what's going on in the play. So as soon as I started going back, I saw the crosser happening and I just ran to the spot. So as you can see, I took an angle to get to a specific spot. I didn't try to chase the wide receiver. There's no way Fletcher Cox is going to catch him. I just ran to a spot, got the interception, Eagles ball, first play of the game pick. All right, so if you're still around at this point in the video, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Hopefully you got some tips out of this video. We're gonna do a quick recap. So first thing you wanna do is know who the user. When you're first doing this, try to stay away from using the person that's responsible for that receiver you're covering. If you miss or you take the wrong angle, you're gonna get burned. You're gonna be wide open. That receiver's gonna be wide open. So know who the user. Second thing you want to do is once you got the person you're using, play with anticipation. One of the things I haven't mentioned that I usually do is I look at the formation and I say, what would I run out of this formation? What am I looking for? So if I got trips to the left, most likely I'm looking for crossers, there. One of the things you want to do is make sure you're always looking for the screen. There's nothing worse than being a user and you running down the field and there's a screen being thrown behind you. So your first check is a screen, making sure you're covering that. And then just, you can play free because again, that person that you're using, He has no responsibility on the play if you did it right, and you can go get the ball and you can watch the play unfold and you can run to a spot and get the interception. So I hope you learned something in this video. It's Philly Renegade again. Hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 500 subs. I appreciate y'all. I'm only, what, a couple 100,000 behind Eric Ray Weather. I'm about to catch him, y'all. Let's go.